love your music. I had no idea that you're involved with Keep Streets Live. Tell me, why is there a need for this organization?
There's a specific law that was brought in about 5 years ago, and it's introduced these things called PSPOs, Public Space Protection Orders, and it gives councils the power to ban anything they like, with very little judicial oversight.
PSPO.
That's right, yeah.
Public Space Protection Ordinance.
Yes, yeah.
And that's kind of like a blanket authority for the local council to create different rules.
Effectively, and...
But in the case of Kensington Chelsea, they have created rules that say what? There's a specific area that all musical busking is completely banned. Which is?
I can't remember the exact area. I'm not too familiar.
Portobello Road?
Portobello Road, they've introduced very, very severe restrictions on it. So there are time limits, and the specific places on Portobello Road where you have to busk, I think.
And there are other places where it's just
there's another area where it's completely banned, and for the whole for the whole borough, there are again severe restrictions against busking. This isn't the only council. There are about 15 others that have introduced controls against buskers. Some of those councils have talked to them and said, look, these are the problems with what you've introduced, and they then back down from that. Carlisle is a great example of that. They wanted to introduce a PSPO. There's a busking duo called the Moot who worked alongside them, and Chester had some input as well. And eventually Carlisle Council realised that it was against their interest to introduce this PSPO, and they rescinded it completely. And now we have a system that works well for shopkeepers. You have a system that works well for the residents, the local public, and for buskers. So that's much better, and that's what we'd suggest for any other council that wants to introduce this.
How rich a tradition is busking?
Like hundreds and hundreds of years. It's the second oldest profession or something like that. It's a hugely rich tradition. People have always busked, and as I say, authorities have always wanted to find ways of restricting it for whatever reason. I mean, whether that be trying to conflate it with begging. Ultimately, I think the vast majority of the general public enjoy busking. You know, they like seeing buskers around the place. And if we end up in a situation where we have councils around the country who are banning it, I think that would be a huge loss to the cultural scene in this country.